We're 12 hours away, and I'm getting a little bit nervous energy right now just on the fact that we're about to enter into the pain cave, and at some point it might break, it might push me out of my comfort, it might take me to a place where I haven't been yet. And I think it's just being fully open and welcoming all of those feelings, because you just don't know what's gonna happen over a course of 100 miles. But first, let me introduce you guys to the team.
Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime.
The Leadville 100 is one of the toughest ultramarathons in the world. This historic town, once a booming silver mining hub in the late 1800s, now hosts this epic 100-mile trail race, one of the most difficult races out there. Athletes face rugged mountains and immensely high altitudes, pushing their limits in every way. It's not just about endurance. It's about pure grit and determination, and having a crew willing to sacrifice everything to get you to the finish line. This team that Matt has chosen to crew him during his trek throughout the Colorado mountains will make or break his ability to accomplish his goal of finishing under 25 hours. This year, 773 runners are going to be at that start line, but only half will reach the finish.
Good morning. What's the race day first meal looking like?
Well, the first meal is just gonna be black coffee, some toast with peanut butter and some honey on it. We have electrolytes from Pro Mix, and we also have Scratch High Carb, which is basically high carbohydrate supplement. So this will be in my flask, and we'll just be having a water flask and then a hydration flask. So that's kind of what that looks like.
Keep it simple.
What was that?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Stupid.
All right.
Charles Xavier, huh?
How's your sleeve?
Good watch. Let's go, buddy.
Keep our crew safe is everything we do, and just make sure we have wisdom and everything works out the way it needs to work out. We love you, and we're going to be praying back. Love you, dude.
Thank you so much, bro.
All right, let's go, Matt.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna move up a little bit more, but like, we'll just stay here for now.
Yeah. Matt, love your content, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, man.
Can I get a picture? Thank you so much. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Dude, good luck to you.
Hey, good luck to you too.
Have fun,
Hey,
bro.
good luck.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
A lot of months of training that go into the last 8-minute countdown right there, so we're good 100 miles. It should be fun. We're gonna have fun. I'm pretty calm right now, so we'll see how I feel a quarter of the way in. I mean, I think Leadville is one of those races that me just being in this space and understanding like the gravity of what this race entails, not only from the challenge, but also like the long laundry list of people that have conquered that race and the history behind it, I think truly is what like brought me to it. I think for me, when I first saw people doing it, I had the same response that like, this is impossible. Like, why would someone want to run 100 miles? Like, I didn't even know that the 100-mile race, the distance even existed. That's truly why, for me, like, I wanted to experience Leadville in my own way. Like, it's awesome seeing people do it. It's awesome seeing documentaries and other people do it, but it's a little bit different when you get to go experience it yourself.
I mean, Leadville is indescribable, actually. For me, in a special operations specifically, we're doing a lot of land navigation, ruck marching, so being out in the mountains on a trail, like in a way that's home to me. But when you mention Leadville to people, when I say, oh, I did Leadville last year, they're like, what? You did Leadville, like the Leadville, the 100-mile race? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're crazy, that's nuts. It's not, there's a lot of 100-milers out there and they're all nuts, right? I mean, they're crazy people run 100 miles in a day. That's just the thing. No one sane is doing that. But Leadville is a whole nother animal because of the altitude, because of the mountains, the terrain, the elements. It's just the goat.
Yeah.
Bro, the next time we'll see him, I'll be like a McDonald's hash brown and a nap in. It'll be a marathon.
That's crazy. So, and it's 4:17, so there's not a bunch, like nothing's really open.
There is a 7-Eleven type thing back out the way we came.
Cool.
It's the opposite direction, so maybe less traffic.
Here's another note. We could get eggs, and I could make it at Outward Bound.
My goal for this race is to run it in sub 25 hours, sub 15-minute per mile pace for 100 miles, which means I'd finish this race at 5 a.m. the next day. Going into Outward Bound, I knew that I was behind calories. Something that is hard to prepare when you're getting ready for an ultramarathon like this is fueling while you're running. I think for me, I struggled at that point to get enough calories in per hour, where my goal was roughly 300 or 350 calories per hour, and I just was not close to that. And I knew that if I didn't get calories in at that moment, that I'd really set myself up for failure going into the harder section of the race.
So we got everything. We're gonna make some breakfast tacos. We're gonna have everything ready for Matt when he shows up, probably about 7:45. And we'll give him what he needs and get him on his way so we can head to Twin Lakes and do the same thing again.
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
In the back.
What time is it?
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 4:02.
Right on time, baby.
Sip on this.
We'll leave here in 3 minutes.
You're right on time.
All right, 4:05?
Yeah, you're good. I got a timer going.
Yeah, let me get some food.
Yeah, run down the hill,
Let me get
right?
some salt.
Uncrustable.
It's good seeing you guys.
Said so. Oh man, we missed you. Do you want some kid? We also have chips. How are the shoes feeling?
Good.
I got the speed lines just in case.
Yeah.
Here, what do you want to take in your time? Scratch.
Let's do gushers. Let's get some applesauce in there.
You got an Uncrustable in there?
You put high carb, right?
Yeah. Stinger on the right.
How much you give them? Scratch. Do you have enough calories?
50 seconds.
50 seconds.
Hey, did anybody get his lamp?
Did you guys grab his lamp? Anybody?
So I know we got awesome shots. As far as what our responsibility to Matt is it was too much at the actual crew space because we weren't able to monitor what he ate for his calorie intake, so I didn't know what to give him to fuel. His water intake, we were trying to communicate with him. It was just too much happening. I'm okay with you guys doing that stuff. It just was way in there, and I couldn't do any. We were stuck trying to figure it out as we go, and then he was gone.
As chaotic as the aid stations are, it was nice to just see familiar faces. And I think there's not really a way to quantify what that feels like in the moment of running by yourself and being in solitude for 3 to 4 hours. So it was really dope, honestly, to just have the team there and have all the food available. Honestly, just so I could munch on whatever felt right in that moment. I think so much about ultras is around feeling and understanding how your body feels in that present moment to then give yourself the nutrients or the food that you need to then allow yourself to get to the next aid station.
All right, we're at like mile 38, almost. Coming into Twin Lakes for the first time. I'm feeling all right. Legs are a little tight. This downhill is crushing the quads.
The most important thing I was looking for at Twin Lakes aid station was just, once again, to eat as much as I can.
It's hard to like
keep putting down. That's remember how I just didn't want to eat.
I know.
All I wanted was blueberries.
And if I had to take a little bit longer of a break at that aid station, knowing that I have one of the biggest climbs coming up, I was okay with maybe spending a little bit more time at mile 38 for Twin Lakes. And I think that was probably the longest I stayed at any aid station the entire time during the 100 miles, which was, I think, in total 10 minutes sitting down.
saltier stuff. Give me more Cheez-Its.
Do you want another one of these in here?
Yeah,
Chips and Cheez-Its. Right over
I got it. I'm on it.
I like these.
My original goal was only being at aid stations for 3 to 5 minutes. So I think that was just a moment where you have to adapt based on how your body's feeling and knowing that there's different sections of the race that are going to be more challenging than others. And obviously Hope Pass is, there's a reason it's kind of put right in the middle of this race. It's one of the most daunting parts of the course, and obviously a lot of climbing is required and also energy. And if you don't have that, it's a really downhill slope that you can go on when it comes to injuries if you aren't fueled properly.
Get what you
It's
need.
gonna be valuable.
I'll just do 10.
You're ahead, bud. You're ahead, so you're doing great. You're doing good. Can I put one of these? Would you eat this on the trail? If the answer is no, if the answer is no, I'm gonna put something that you're gonna eat.
Cheez-Its. Yes. When you're scratch. Yeah, go for it.
Go, baby.
Any runner that is doing any kind of real preparation for Leadville is 100% focused on Hope Pass. They know that is the make or break point, and you got to do it twice. So for Matt going in, obviously he's got a plan. Matt's a very prepared person. You know, he trains, he's serious about his nutrition, his equipment, all of that. But at the same time, maybe different here than some of his other races like marathons, like the course really matters. It really takes into account like what you got to do. So it's in his head. It's in his head weeks before. It's in his head even more days leading up. It's in his head at the starting line. And then once you get past Outward Bound and the sun's coming up and you can see that big bastard, 20 miles away in the distance, it's intimidating. And I know, and Matt's a confident dude, but I know through those sunglasses, he's seeing that thing and he's thinking about it because I thought about it, and I think everybody does.
There's always a little bit of doubt that creeps in whether you feel good or not in that moment of just like how I'm gonna feel after doing this. How long is this section gonna take me? Because this could be the make or break on hitting sub 25.
no matter how much you're prepping for this, no matter how much you climb, like, there's something just daunting about having fatigue already set in and then seeing what you need to go summit. And I think for me, like, there were so many moments where I was just like bent over on my trekking poles, like truly like just feeling sorry for myself. You feel like you're on this climb and it never ends. The sense of reward when you do get to the top is something like it's unlike anything else. And I think that is like, if you could put yourself into that mindset of like what it's gonna feel like, that sense of accomplishment, even just to summit the mountain, let alone finishing the race, it pushes you enough to make it to the next aid station. My goal was to get to Winfield and not linger there too much. And the thing with Winfield is like, it's a lot of people at that point are like debating on if they want to stop. And it's one of those things where you just don't want to be around that energy. And ideally, if you can get in and get out and not linger too much, knowing that the steepest part of the climb is coming up on the backside of Hope. I think for me, I just didn't want to waste too much time at Winfield. So I got in and out of there and I just started making my trek back. It was one of those moments in the race where I started looking at my watch and I noticed that like I wasn't on schedule with what I had predicted. I mean, honestly, the only thing I could think of was seeing those flags at the very top of Hope. Knowing that if I can summit that, I would set myself up, hopefully. Knowing that if I can summit that, I would set myself up.
56. We just summited Hope on the backside. Oh my God. It feels nice to summit this thing.
Dude, he hit Hope.
He did?
He just hit Hope. He just hit Hope 1340. Hey, Troy just hit Hope.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude.
Let's go, baby!
Oh, don't put me. I can't say the F-bomb. My wife was watching.
Too late, bro.
Oh no!
Cut.
Oh, don't.
Wait,
You can
wait,
bleep
so
it. You gotta
1340,
bleep
what's
it. I'm
his
sorry.
pace?
Yeah. That's so awesome.
I'm waiting at Twin Lakes for Matt, just like he was waiting for me last year. And I'm sure he had a lot of anticipation because I did. I was excited to, see him and like join him for this. And as the moment's approaching, I'm becoming more and more grateful for him doing this for me last year because I didn't know leading in how important a pacer would be, how much it mattered for me to get that under 25-hour mark. I think without it, I finish, but I don't think I finish in the time I did without Matt Choi. And I wanted to return the favor. I wanted to be a part of that, and help him.
Mile 60, we're about 2 miles away, a little less than 2 miles from Twin Lakes, which would be where I'll be able to get a pacer. Back to running right now. I'm not gonna lie, my legs, feet, they don't feel great, but I'm trying to just keep my body moving as much as I can, especially if the goal of sub 25, it's still on the table, but we need to execute these last 40 miles pretty flawlessly. And I'm currently running a little bit behind schedule because of Hope Pass. But my morale is good, spirit is good. I'll get some food here.
Then I see him, he's coming in, he's looking strong. But then he sits down and he goes, 25 hours is gonna be tough to make. And I was like, dude, don't even.
Yeah, Matt, not good. Let me for a sec.
Stuff
I'll let you eat as much as you
I know. I got you. I've been eating mashed potato ramen.
Hell yeah. You good? And I want you to do as much of the broth as you can. You've been sweating a lot.
I'm like not eating enough. See that make peel up? Hey, there's socks in here actually that'll wear.
Great. Okay.
In this bag, right in the zipper right here?
Yeah, in the back.
He just was like, he just knew where he was. He knew he was behind, and he probably had a little bit of worry about making that time. But we got our nutrition in, and then we get out on the trail.
Filming with my brother for this 100, this is the first time I've actually supported him. I wasn't able to make it out to his grindstone one in Virginia. So being here to support him is a big deal. Obviously there's a lot more that is involved with crew because it's like a 24-hour operations. But yeah, it means a lot. I think this course is difficult because of the elevation. factor. So Matt, this is Matt's second 100, and yeah, I think this one means a lot to him. I think getting the sub 25 is going to be his like goal, and I think he's going to be able to kill it.
How you feeling? You're good, dude. I remember this last year. Yeah. We've been on this.
Go, baby.
We've done this. Easy day.
Running 62 miles by yourself, at some point, any runner is going to start to lose motivation. And having Nate there pacing me on the back half, I just knew that he was going to push me to make sure that I'm staying focused and present in every single footstep that I was making, and playing little games, making sure that I'm staying on pace, or if we find someone in front of us, just trying to beat them or pass them, help me stay present, even though my body and my mind were not all fully there. I think that's the importance of having a pacer that you trust and that you also know is going to push you out of your comfort zone. In that moment, we were behind schedule, and I could have easily felt sorry for myself and just been like, I want to walk, I don't want to run right now. But having Nate there kind of pushing me to run as much as I can on that back half, that was one of the reasons I kept going.
It's completely dark at this point, and then it starts raining. Trail's getting a little bit muddy, and we're coming down the blacktop, like looking for the cutoff to outward bound. And both of us we can't see it. It's not super obvious and clear. Like I said, it's raining. There's no panic, but there's definitely like a silence, you know? And I think that in all likelihood, Matt was thinking about what was next coming up on Powerline, because it sucks. It's a bitch, you know? And you've already done Hope Pass twice, and you do not want to go up another mountain, but you got to.
This is the second to last station that the crew works. We're gonna probably exchange a pacer, maybe not, we're not sure. It's starting to drizzle. It's supposed to rain between 10 and 3 today, which is the prime time for Matt to finish. And it's gonna just make it much worse, much harder for him.
Running is, for a lot of runners, it's something that's uncomfortable. It gets colder, the weather changes quickly. You just don't really know what to expect, and like, you can't see much. And I think that alone of just having your headlamp on and literally just looking down at your feet, there's not much else that you can see, and you're obviously entirely in Mother Nature. It requires another like level of grit and resilience to make sure that you're continuing to take one step at a time and to continue to move forward. Because at that point of the race, and especially for me, like I was like hobbling a little bit, like my legs, my feet were just torched. And at that point of the race when you're trying to still run, and you know that your form and your running gait and all these things are just kind of misaligned, it's just a matter of pain tolerance and like what you're willing to endure in that present moment to accomplish the goal. And I think the night just brings out a whole nother like element of any athlete, of any endurance runner, because you got to go further into that kind of pain cave and extract as much light and love as you can to just get to the next aid station.
Let's go! We pull in there, and you know, the crew who's been killing it and killed it all the way through, they've got the food ready and all that, but it's cold. Now everybody's wet and tired. We've been up for almost 24 hours.
We're gonna keep the shoes and socks.
This is the point where you're hitting your wall. Like in a marathon, this is the wall. No matter what the distance of the race, you get 75, 80% of the way through it, you hit a wall.
Yeah. Hey, do you want any Cheez-Its for the road? Too? Would that be helpful?
Actually, Tyler should.
What's up?
Tyler's got a fish.
Yeah.
Mitch and the crew are, you know, they're throwing snacks in my hydration vest, and you know, getting me geared up and make sure we got the right shoes on, and we're getting ready to push out. And I look over to Matt to see if he's ready to roll, and it's a little more of a look of despair. He's like zoned out a little bit, you know, and I know he's tired, obviously, but we got to snap out of this because we got to move. We got to get on the road. I think we just can't sit here.
Take 1 foot forward at a time. That was like my only focus for those last 23 miles, was make sure that I know where my foot is landing so that I can make sure that I can finish this race. And the worst thing that could happen in that moment is if I misstep on a rock, or if I take the wrong step because I'm kind of being nonchalant about it and I twist or roll my ankle, or I twist my knee the wrong way, and then I'm unable to finish the race, or potentially have to drag my body across the finish line. Although like the lights were on, but I wasn't as aware, I think the only thing I was focusing on that I could spend time and energy on is where is my foot stepping and how do I continue to move forward as fast as possible without potentially injuring myself.
This is the night shift. We are putting the night vision goggles on and we're gonna run 12 miles and we're gonna run our asses back to Leadville, and Matt's gonna get that big ass buckle. And my one job is to look at the pace and look at the time required for Matt to hit that goal and make sure he gets that shit, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm not as excited. I'm kind of tired, but I feel good. I'm excited for Matt. Good for him. Yay.
You've essentially navigated 15,000 feet of elevation gain. You've done Hope Pass twice. You've done Powerline twice. And now it's sort of rolling hills all the way home. You know, hunky-dory. Oh, no big deal. 12 more miles. What's 12 more miles? Well, 12 more miles is almost a half marathon. Not to mention that at this point, your body is shutting down, you know, and your body knows. It has that internal clock that knows you're almost done.
We all knew that I was still behind schedule from my goal of hitting sub 25 hours. So the last 12 miles wasn't gonna just be like a walk in the park. Like, we had to be really dialed in on making sure that we were running any section that we can get, because in a race like this, 30 seconds to a minute, it was the make or break on hitting sub 25 hours. And in that moment, it sucks and it hurts and it doesn't feel good.
We're critically close to falling behind that pace, that 25-hour pace. And what a tragedy it would be to finish this thing at 25 hours and 1 minute.
So many different emotions that come up to play. I think the first thing I thought of was just like how full of like gratitude and appreciation I am of the human body, that I'm capable, that I was able to push past all of the doubt and the fears and the fatigue and the underfeeling and all the different variables that showed up in this race, and yet it still brought me back all the way to this small little mining town where this race started 24 hours and 30 minutes prior. And all I had to do was run one last mile. And knowing that all the people invested, all the crew, all the media, all the pacers, the people back in Austin that were supporting me and rooting me on, all of them having a small piece and role in this project. And the fact that we just had 1 mile left, like, I couldn't help but just like have a little smile on my face, knowing that like this journey, the goal that we had, was about to get executed.
Love that. That showed me you are an inspiration.